every time I listen to Jamil and was interacting with the community, it was like, yeah, I like this. I want to be part of this. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to go anywhere else. And eventually I burned all the bridges and 100% real estate.
Went into the atmosphere with your little rocket ship, that's for sure. Can you please tell us what does your weekend look like? What happened on Friday? What's going on today? You as a full-time wholesaler, what's going on?
um,
Giggle.
yeah, because it's almost like it's a way of living, right? My favorite people are inside Astro. Those are my best friends. We talk the same language pretty much. Um, Yesterday I was pondering about that. I wake up excited every day for what's the day bringing. So this is really aligned with the way I want to live my life, with opening
Mm.
myself to infinite possibilities and receiving everything from the universe. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Yeah, I wake up excited about the day, and then I hang out with my best friends pretty much the whole day in Zoom. And the
Yeah.
weekends were more relaxed. And pretty much Saturdays also sometimes we do Zoom with Korean. And but I work more in a chill way, probably until 2 p.m. and then I do my thing. But and Sundays there's a call with Jamil. That lately I must confess, since my son got a change on schedule, I'm not there 100%, but I'm planning to come back. So
But
it's a way of living.
you're a huge part of the Astro community, and I call you one of the Astro aunties because you definitely
Oh,
bring that vibe of just taking care of people. And that's why I'm excited you're here, because we have so many people who have never gotten through their first deal. And not only are you somebody who can show them the exact route to do it, you're somebody who I know is going to be out there supporting them even after this call. And I think that's what's super cool. But I do want to get started, everybody. First, I'm going to tell you, we are using Privy all day today to show you how we run our backend system. In doing that, we are going to call Florida, and I need y'all's help. I need to know where you want called, and I need addresses in the chat now from Florida so that we can do it for you. And if you don't have Privy yet, I want to let you know that I've got a code for you. It's DAMG, 30% off for if you get an annual, and then 20% off with that code if you're doing your first month. And the beauty of it is completely like, you can take this risk because there's a 30-day risk guarantee. If this isn't the right program for you, you can always let Benson know and get out of it. But I'm going to show you why it's the right program. Paula, do you mind sharing your screen and starting off just showing us Privy? Shows how you dive into Florida. And I'm already seeing some people excited about Tampa. Whoop,
do
whoop.
you do you see my previous screen or the other that I have open?
We see your Privy screen. You're good to go there.
So I have two screens. I see you guys over there and I'm here. So yeah, I will be happy to show if I can have an address that you guys want me to analyze.
Absolutely. Are you ready for me? It's going to be 4605.
Oh, can I drive north?
That's the one. Copy
Okay.
paste if you can.
Oh, yeah, I can. So look, when Privy, when you insert an address on Privy, once you put the address right on the back, down there, it's where you need to click.
Yeah.
Okay, just for your information, because sometimes you can't see it. Okay, so it's listed 2 years ago. It was listed 2 years ago, 95,000, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1967. The lot is 3,141 square feet. So it's a small lot. Square feet, 1364, 1 story. So the beauty of Privy is that you have pretty much all the information you need right away over here. Over here, you will have the pictures. In this case, you have some pictures of the property, and this totally needs renovation. And I like to mention that usually I want, usually I don't go after new listings, because since they are new on the MLS, they are testing and trying, sometimes even trying to start a bidding war. And we are usually, it's not good if you start overbidding for
You
many
don't want to
reasons.
bid against your buyers.
Yeah, I mean,
That would be a big problem for sure.
It's difficult because first, remember, when you want to wholesale a deal, you need to show it's a deal.
Mhm.
And if you paid listing price or over asking price, and then you're going to add your fee on top, doesn't look like a deal anymore. Even if you say, if you could argue, well, yeah, I won a bidding war and I beat other 10 people, still over asking, so it's not perceived as a deal. And that's a concept that I would love to share with you, because that's really important. It's buyer psychology.
We're saving you time by letting you know that a push price out to your buyers above a list price is very difficult. Not impossible,
Yeah.
but often it's just not a typical wholesale. So save yourself some time. If you understand this, please drop me an emoji so that I know in the chat you've got this.
That's important. And let's go over this, and then I will tell you what's a good deal. Okay, because that's important also. Now, let's read briefly this. So, vibrant neighborhood, beautiful water views. It's a part of a state sale. So, and we know it recent renovations. Then what I would do is, first, after the pictures, I will look the neighborhood. So Privy, and you don't have this in Zillow, for example, I will go to Zillow just to confirm some data. Well, I was told today, it doesn't matter. Here you have the pictures. You can see where the map is. Then you can see this. I love this feature. For example,
I work with you every day, and I didn't realize that you use this, because I have opened it up separately and gone on Google Street Map walks all the time. I just learned something on how I can use Privy faster.
yeah,
We are going to drop you the code if you don't have this, because it gets me nerdy excited that it's so easy.
it is really good. That's why I love Privy. And as you can see, I'm going a little bit around the neighborhood, because what I'm looking for is established neighborhood. For example, right from the bat, this thing is an eyesore. So I know it's not a neighborhood that is super established, right? But at least I didn't see any mobile homes or modular homes, which could be a problem. Yeah, these are homes, not modular homes. So then if you want, you have this. This is like being in a helicopter, is more like the satellite part. Okay. So that's what I love about the system. Sometimes when there are no pictures, there is a link over here that you can click, and it will take you to another site where probably more pictures, but not necessarily. Okay, so right now I'm going to look for comparables, and the algorithm of Privy is going to automatically look for something that it's plus or minus 15% of square feet. So the system thinks that these are my comps, and this is by default half of a mile. Okay? Now you can select where you want this to be, or select properties not crossing any avenues. You can do that. In this case, I'm just going to go by the default just for now, because I don't see a lot. Now, I'm going to take a quick look. So ours is 1967. Appraisal rules from Astro, that those are the ones we use, is plus or minus 10 years, but pretty much same building generation. Lot size needs to be within 2,500 square feet. This is not a comp, for example. The lot is way too big compared to this one. So even though square feet and year could be a match, bedrooms and bathrooms we can subtract, but the lot size is not the same. So this is not my comp. Plus it's crossing a little river. This is crossing an avenue. I don't like that. Lot is also bigger. This is another contract. The lot is bigger, but at least it's not as big as this one's. This for sale is also big. This looks like it could be, yeah, still in the range. Let me check one more thing before we click something else. So there is public records here. So that's why, again, I love Privy, because I have everything I need here. You have the assessor records.
We haven't left this tab.
What?
I said, we haven't left this tab. We already know the property. We already know the neighborhood. We can see what has sold recently. Just geeking out. Continue. How do you do it?
Yeah, it is. I will go here and look for the construction type. Then I will confirm it somewhere else, but pretty much over here, I'm going to see the construction type. In Florida, that's one of the main things. There are two key things in Florida: water access. If you have access to a canal or to the water, to the ocean or a river, and then construction type. It's a thing over there. It could be 15, 20% less. If, for example, these were wood, it would be automatically 15, 20% less than concrete, or I wouldn't take it. So, for example, again, let's go back to the good deal. If all the comps around are concrete, I won't offer on the only wood property in Florida, unless, because I know everything trades at a price, unless it's a screaming deal and I know the value is going to be less. But I can tell you by experience, it's going to be hard to dispo because of comps and because it's perceived and it's not concrete. So it's perceived as less value. So I'm here looking for, sometimes when you don't have a square footage, over here you have the dimensions of the lot. Sometimes it doesn't appear over here, or you can't find them on Zillow. You can find them here. Also, I'm looking for the residential on records, the class on records. This says residential, single family. And if this is not the case, but if if this is a condo, I need to know the name of the subdivision, because when condos or PUDs, those properties that have association need to be in the same subdivision, the same description.
Okay. So same association is important here.
It is important. It makes the difference. That's where most people that try to wholesale is lost. So I'm going to, by default, I have this, but I want to see everything that is for sale or was sold or pending. So I go to settings, click all. I could, well, over there, this is going to be override. In this case, it's single family homes within half mile. And I clicked saved. Now I can see more.
Wow, okay. A lot more.
A lot more. Now, what
Yeah,
is for
that's
sale?
right.
And keep in mind, when I'm evaluating properties, I'm looking for evidence of the value. If
Yes.
somebody comes here and says the ARV here is 400,000, I don't see evidence that there is a 400,000 house here, not even new construction. So we already know our lot is teeny tiny.
Mhm.
Let me do something here. Is this the tiniest lot ever? No.
I mean, yes, in comparison to some of the comps being much
Yeah, but
bigger.
look at, yeah, it's kind of weird. Okay, let me check, because yeah, in Jacksonville you can find really tiny lots
Mhm. We've
and
seen them before.
there's no association. Okay, so let's go here. So for example, this was sold for 45.
Mhm.
The lot is smaller, but this is really small. So this is not a comp. This is of
That
course,
face of that particular property looks the same though, and that's nice in a comp, is
yes.
that something looks very similar to your subject.
Yeah,
Which
it's
is why
really
so far that's
small. It's same construction.
Mhm.
And obviously it's original condition, but it's looks like, well, no, it's not habitable. I was going to say it's habitable, it's not.
Is beat up, so
Yeah,
beat up.
yeah. So this one, it's also a really tiny lot.
Yeah.
So it's important, and this is the only way, the only platform that I know that you can see in one view for sale, pendings, and solds, and even rentals. Because in
Yeah, he has
Zillow, you
added.
have to click.
We're
Here
trying
is,
to save you guys tabs here if you haven't gotten the gist, because comping is hard enough as is to see what properties are in the area. So it's always nice to be able to stay in one platform. If you don't have Privy yet, I highly suggest it, because there's a 30-day risk guarantee. If it's not the right program for you, you can always let us know and then you can get out. But in the meantime, I've got a code for you so you can have 30% off for if you get an annual, or 20% off your first month if you go by a monthly plan. So on this particular property, in this neighborhood, we're not seeing a lot of activity for things that are this small.
we don't, yeah. So it's kind of the right house in the wrong lot, because everything
Mm.
else is smaller and they
Mhm.
have tinier lots, but I don't know if this is even a condo. Let me check. That's why I go back up. Yeah, I investigate everything in a property. I feel like a
That's
detective.
what you have to do to have good offers. And that's where some people like trip up, is that, when do you stop comping and how far do you take it? And I think
Yeah.
one thing that you and I do in business a lot is we utilize these numbers and then we go straight to the agent. We don't need an exact number to know if that agent has motivation, especially given we already know that this is probably priced close to the right range. Can we get it low enough that we're bringing a value proposition to our buyer on the sale? That word alone, if you're near a whiteboard, write it down. Value proposition. To have a wholesale, you have to have that, because it's your job to notice what is a creative play on a particular property. How can I package that and then go save my buyers time, because I've already done all of that thinking for them on how they can make money with this really cool deal.
Okay.
All
So,
right.
I mean, what Korean says, it's a key, right? Because we're trying to solve a problem for everybody. We're trying to create win-win situations. So how
Mhm.
you provide value to the seller, to the agent, to your company, because we are doing this for a profit too. Everybody else is working for a profit. So we
Yeah.
have to acknowledge that it's fair to be compensated.
Mhm.
And we are trying to really add value to everybody in our lives, right? That's the
Mhm.
idea. So I can comp. That's kind of the way I comp. I'm not seeing something without crossing avenues that I like. So I could come here to Privy, and if I click here, I'm going to see all the solds by dates. And obviously I want to see the recent ones more quickly.
You can do that
here,
for every single one, but we always do it for solds, just so y'all know.
yes, always for solds, because we need to know what's, even though we find a good comp, a twin comp, we need to see what's going on with pendings and actives, because we want to make sure the value didn't decrease. That
So that
sometimes
Churchill Drive, will you click on it? I know that's not a comp, and we can say that it's not a comp. It's the third one down, Churchill Drive.
this one.
Yeah.
Okay, so
because it has square footage.
Yeah, so I can click here. Now over here, you're going to see the square footage, right? There is a difference here. You can see this. This was sold recently, and it's larger, and it's for 260. So in order to check the card, I need to click on that little icon that I just clicked. And this is remodeled.
Will you go to percentage for buyer? We're going to help Mary out. Mary is asking, where do you look at to see if a buyer has bought a property from the MLS? So,
okay. So before and after. And this was sold on public record. And then they bought it at 52%. Now, let me tell you something. Sometimes the system takes 2021. So if you see a date like this versus this is an investor. And you can even go and confirm if you have if this was in the MLS, you can check over here. The same information is going to be here. Okay. And sometimes you even have pictures. Over here, you're going to check how many days they hold the property and days on market. So hold time, how many days they took to put it right, and how many days on market that had. And this is the ARV percentage they bought it. Is that what she was looking for?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, that's all the information you need to know to have a conversation. So you skip trace that person, you give them a call and you're like, hey, I saw that you bought this one at 52%. How did it go? Like, did you like holding it that long? And you can create a relationship with a buyer out of just that information right there. So again, if you don't have Privy, what are you doing? We've got a code for you. It's DanG, and it's in the chat. All right.
It is. Look, that's where you check who was the seller, who sold it for 135, who bought it for 135 in October. This is the one that you want to skip trace. Well, you will skip trace the corporation and look for probably the registered agent. This is
Thank you for jumping into that comp so that we could share that with Mary. I feel like that's important information on why Privy is my absolute favorite. But this is nowhere near a comp to the property that we're actually.
It's not for many reasons, but most likely, well, for two reasons, big reasons. Square feet are more than 300 or 250 at least, and the lot size is like 10,000 almost more. So and over here you can also see the distance. So I can go many ways, but for example, here this is the latest one. For this size of house, probably this is the closest. It's half mile, so I bet it's crossing avenues. We don't see any other that is small that has the same. So we're going to have to make adjustments. Unfortunately. Okay. So the closest, let's see if.
Now, if I wasn't interrupting you every 3 to 4 minutes, how long would you say that you should take to comp a property?
Well, I'm explaining here, right? But
right. Annabelle wants to know. I'm not questioning you because we're spending too much time.
Technically, I will do the whole research between 5 to 10 minutes. because I
Yeah.
can look and comp in 2 minutes, but I could miss a lot of things.
And if you are pushing towards 10 minutes or 15 minutes, you don't even know if they have motivation to sell close to your number. So we want to kind of get a feel for it. We don't have to lock in that ARV immediately, because then we're going to call the agent and see, hey, is this even something they would consider a lower offer on?
Well, this is an example of a deal that I don't think is a deal because of
Okay.
the comps. And for example, I just came here and the one who tried to flip it was Open Door. I don't trust what's the percentage of ARV they bought. Obviously, they bought it too high. They reduced the price. Well, they didn't reduce too much.
And the lot is double.
The lot is more than double. And that's the closest
Yeah.
one. Let me check.
So I'm sorry in the chat, I don't know who dropped this particular property, but this is one that we probably wouldn't move forward on. That's mostly because it's very tiny, considered a unicorn property, and that makes it difficult for investors to see that value proposition. So can I get some more addresses in Florida, please?
Yes, and let me tell
Bring
you
it
one more
on.
reason. One more reason.
Okay.
Because it's 2 days on the market, and I bet they think they're going to have listing price.
Or more. They might be trying to go for a bidding war.
Yes.
And I think
So
they're at retail, if not above.
I wouldn't. Now, ARV, in this case, hard to tell, but I will say probably 220s or less because of the lot, maybe not even 200. So yeah, let's move on. What's the other address?
219 Melody Lane in Largo, Florida. And I'm looking for Florida today.
Okay,
We're sticking to Florida.
Over here, it appeared. So I'm going to click over there.
Perfect.
Okay, 9 days.
Nice. Perfectly
So
ugly in every way.
Yeah, those are the 6 pictures they uploaded. We know they're asking 179.9, 862, so it's a small 1954, 7,000, almost 8,000 square feet. This is frame. Okay, so this is, I know I have to look for only frame comparables. If everything else is brick, we're going to have a problem this one. Okay. The description, needs work, master suite. Okay. So are you guys, am I going too fast?
If Paula is the perfect educator, like I believe her to be, will you please drop a thumbs up? And if for any reason you feel like Paula needs to do something differently, feel free to also give her feedback, because I'm sure she'd love it. But we all know she needs that thumbs up.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. Scott's got my back.
Okay, so our subject
Colleen's in
is here. Okay, let's check the usual. This is the first. And guys, we can squat up, and we have an email with guidelines how to pre-screen the properties. So that will make your life easier. Okay, it's
pretty much everything she's saying here today. Look on Privy, find the comps, call the agent.
Okay. So at least it's not an avenue. We're looking for a property not to be in an avenue. Let's check the first ones. So the lot is better. We know it's wood. This was sold recently. This is the thing that I was telling you about. You can still use this feature of what seeing around, but since there are no pictures, you come here, it says property details, and you go view external listing. And
boom, taken directly there, no effort needed.
Sometimes you can find pictures over here. It could bring you to Redfin. It could lead you to Zillow. It could lead you, pretty much those are the 2 ones I've seen. No pictures, so it's kind of the same. So let's go back. Let's actually close. And let's look at the comps. So this is between the numbers we want to see and looks like a flip. So let's look at that.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we go before and after. This is 2021. Let's check something else because it says 63. Yeah, there is not LLC. So they just bought it in 2021. But look, there is an MLS number and there's also pictures. So we're
And
going
if you don't know how to calculate once you have ARV, you just found out that buyers buy at 63%.
and for example, this they renovated. Look at the kitchen.
Absolutely.
So they renovated. How do you find that percentage? You just divide the purchase price they bought it for the purchase bit. Yeah, this divided by 320 is going to, you're going to see like 0.63. So that's the percentage. And you can multiply it by 100 and you have the percentage, but that's pretty much how you find out. So a tip for you, whenever you get a deal from an agent or from a wholesaler, and you know what's the price that could be sold for once it's repaired, I do this 10-second math. I divided whatever they are asking for, divided by whatever the ARV they say it is. And if that makes sense for my market, I can go ahead because 99% of the times they're going to be higher on the ARV they say. So if they are already high for my standards, I don't spend much more time on that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, so the only thing that we need to check last is building frame combination. Probably is frame too. I'm gonna go to Zillow to see if over there it says something different. On Zillow,
So you're hopping over to Zillow for your comp so that you can check what exactly?
if actually it's wood, because if it's wood, it's a comp. If it's concrete, it's not a comp, and I need to make adjustments. So over here somewhere, okay, vinyl sided. So this is like for like.
Comp.
This is wood.
Perfect. Okay.
And for those of you that don't know where to check Zillow stats, for example, over here you have the whole history. So they bought it over here. They try to rent it. They remove it. They list it. And then they sold it for 320. So that's how you find the history. So, okay.
Perfect.
Wrong one.
Back to Privy.
Back to Privy.
You're not a true wholesaler if you don't have 20 tabs open at any given time, just for different deals, right? Okay, so one of our favorites is we're going to all in the settings so that we can just see what's going on in the area as a whole.
Look at okay, this is, for example, great because you see the amount of solds that there are around. That means it's a good market. I mean, there is activity. Okay.
So that's one of our top comps, isn't it? The one we were just in.
Yeah, and this one
could
be, this one could be too. Well, this is bigger. Remember, we're going to use the latest, similar, most recent closest comp.
Got you. Are you comping the comp right now?
Oh, sorry, got lost. No, this is the one.
You got, you were deep in it. So this is the one we could potentially call on, but that is an understanding of the comp. Can we call this agent and see what's going on?
Yes, so we said, oh my God, I got lost. Which one is the one? This one? Yes.
So,
right. So we're not crossing avenues. This is Melody Lane. Yeah, so 320 and so we can, depending on the work it needs, we can go probably up to 208. So this is a good price, but I don't know, we can't offer full price. We need to be a little bit under. So yes, we can call the agent.
Perfect. When you're looking at that,
here's the agent.
I'm gonna have
Luis.
Yes. And then will you make sure and stop screen share? For everybody, just so you know, because we're on YouTube, we're not going to share that number, but it is easy to get. You find the realtor, you hop over to Google, you search them. Almost all realtors have their public number out there, or at least their broker's number.
You know what? Let me see over here. Maybe there is this listing agent.
You have the listing agent's name. You've got the right person. I just need you to stop screen share while you're getting that number.
No, I'm going to do it from my phone.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. And while she's finding that, I'm just going to let you guys know that we've been using Privy this entire time. And we use it in our business every day. So I highly suggest that you get it if you are serious about your wholesale business. And we've got a code for you today. It is DAMG, and that will get you 30% off for an annual, or a 20% off if you're going to take the monthly plan for your first month.
Okay, hopefully that's the phone number.
Hopefully she picks up.
Yeah.
Hello, Luis.
Hello, Luis. This is Paola from Blue Jay Holdings calling about your listing in 219 Melody Lane in Largo.
Yeah.
Hi. So, do you, I was looking, I'm an investor and I'm looking for a property that we can renovate and put back to the market. Is this property,
I've got good.
yeah, that's what I thought because of the price. So you
Yeah.
gotta be the war.
Now, calling the people that have submitted offer,
Mm-hmm.
I want the best price. We finally got the death certificate, so we can move ahead now. I need basically no inspection. You can come look at the property, but that's it. And then we want to move on. Once we sign, we want to be done with this.
Yeah, sure. So I understand this, but you know what? This is not about this property only. We're actually looking all the time, and I would love to work with you.
For me, it's not like a thing I do a lot.
Oh, you're more retail then?
I'm more retail, yes. This was happening with a client of mine.
Oh, okay. So do you know any agent that does investment properties that you can refer me to?
Not really. Sorry, you're on your own.
Okay. No problem, Luis. I really appreciate you taking my call. And well, have a wonderful afternoon. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, I tried to work with her, but she didn't want it to. So yeah, so that's the thing. First, when you call agents, you tell them that you are an investor, that is not about this property, but it's about working with them. And that,
Mhm.
I mean, in this case, I could pitch the fact that she can represent me as a buyer in other properties, but she didn't want it to. And then the last thing is refer me to somebody. No, okay. It's yeah, Dan, you're on your own.
She was quite literal when it comes to that. Like at a certain point, if she's not even willing to give out a referral, she's not looking to work with you. And you just got rid of somebody that's like not top on your plate. We
Yes.
never enter into bidding wars on market. It is doable, but then you're again going to be above list price. You have very little value proposition for your buyer when you go to sell it. And hopefully you didn't waste a week while you were selling it. So that's one of the reasons why we don't put in offers in bidding situations. Let's jump to another one. I want to keep going. 4877 Waterside Point Circle in Orlando.
There we go. Okay, 133 days on the market. They just dropped the price. 2003 lot is kind of small. It's a 2-story house. Let's check. So it looks like a nice neighborhood. Okay, floors are dated. Yeah, this is original, 2003. This floor is a little bit updated. Let me check. Yeah, bathrooms need to be updated. It has a little bit here. And this is original. So one of the things that caught my eye when I started in the journey with Jamil was that he will see properties that as a realtor, I would think, well, it's fine. What's wrong with the property? But I was missing the part where a renovated property looks totally different. And you need to spend a lot of money to be there. So even if a property is clean, but it's dated, it would need money to bring it there. So this is concrete, so we're good. Let me check.
I'm seeing a couple people in the chat who say like a call like that could potentially stutter step them because I mean you just got blown off basically. So to all of those people, I want you to let you know that it's normal to feel that way, and also just take a moment and be like, thank you for removing your negative energy from my life. I'm gonna go get better agents now, and then pick up the phone as soon as possible. It's like getting back on a skateboard.
Yeah, and you know what? It's I appreciate they being straight and say, you know what, this is not a good fit. Doesn't, I mean, they could be retail. She said, that's why I asked, are you retail? Yes, I am retail. Okay, we need retail agents, but not for me. And that's okay. Yeah, it's not pleasant, but it is what it is, right? Okay, so this is a good example. This has, well, this could be the water access, but it's not the same as having access to this big one, right?
Right. So by water access, we mean somewhere you can park a boat and enjoy, not somewhere that alligators can hide and eat your dog. So that's literally the nuance in my opinion.
Yeah.
And
so a comparable would be a house more like it's here than one that it's okay. And I already put the all thing. So they are asking 504. It's a 2-story, almost 2,400 square feet. This is 1 story smaller. And was renovated. This is also smaller. This is smaller. What about these ones? This that go to the lake also is almost half size. So looks like it's the biggest house on the neighborhood. Well, this could be, but again, this has access to the water. So ideally,
And you have to,
adjust for that. What?
you
Sorry.
have to think about the fact that that one isn't close to that giant road. I'm not sure exactly what road we're looking at, that's on the left, but our subject property is close enough to probably hear that traffic in comparison to the other 540
Yes.
on the other
this is a
side of this
big
wee
traffic.
pond. Mhm.
Yeah. So,
Will you go to your settings real quick and show exactly what you put in there?
okay. So over here, it was without this.
Okay.
And
So
you
that's
see that,
how it automatically shows up, is the
yes. So for
15%.
example, and another tip, if you see, for example, new construction,
Mhm.
you know you have to be significantly less than this, even when this is renovated. Okay.
Mhm.
So these are the ones we know crossing this is a no. So we need to
Mhm.
keep ourselves here. And then we click all.
So
and
you're
then-
in settings, you click all, save. That's what
And
got
I
her to
don't-
all of these comps.
Yeah. I mean, you could here, let me explain something here. You could check if it's a condo, just condos, or multifamily, or townhomes that are attached. You can go, you could pick the year built. You can put some filters. In my case, I recommend this is better because then you look everything that is getting for sale, sold, or under contract.
For those who might get a little overwhelmed, because when you click all, you're going to end up with a lot of retail properties, and that can sometimes be different than a flip and what a flip will be valued for. Can you show us all investor only, both of those clicked? Happens to be my favorite one. And I want to see what it pulls up for
So
us.
over here, we have only the ones that are
rentals.
investor.
Okay.
So this was an investor is that the system already took check that it was sold, pretty much takes the before and after. That's why I like to check dates. Okay. And if I can, in this case, I have pictures. What's the condition? So look at the condition. And look the kind of kitchen.
The kitchen.
They renovated the kitchen.
But it wasn't ugly in the first place, but they did update it to the current standard.
This is the ARV. And
Mhm.
then on property history, you can go and check. And this was in 2021. We don't see LLC. So probably it was just some people that bought it in 2021 and then sell it in 2023.
Okay.
But those are, that's how the system recognizes activity, investor only. And that's
So
how
in this, go
Yeah.
on. No, tell us.
that's how we also evaluate if there are flips. For example, if I want to know how many flips there are around 1 mile, I check here, I put 1 mile, save. And this is not absolute, right? But I check here which ones the system is telling me that were flipped. And then check those and check the percentages of ARV.
So there's a couple other things happening with this property. Like we can't use a comp on the left side of that giant highway. I'm not sure. It might be just a small greenway, tollway, but you can't use a comp on the other side if ours is on the right-hand side. And we're also seeing a lot of 350s, 400s in this particular side in this neighborhood. We know that our property backs up to this busy road. It looks like the seller went in thinking that they were going to get a lot on this property, and it doesn't match.
Okay, let me tell you what would be the ARV here. And probably there is, I don't know if there is an association, but because of the situation, so it's kind of updated kitchen. So this property was updated. This kitchen is not from 2002, right? And it has 2-story. It has a pool. It is concrete. Yes, it's concrete. So this could be our comp, but ours is bigger for more than 250. So the most we can give it, and this has access to this big pool and not close to a freeway. So probably this, because the other possibility was to add maybe 10% max. That's what an appraiser would give, 10% max to compensate for the extra square feet. But because it doesn't have access and it's too close to a freeway, I wouldn't add that. So the ARV is 465 in my opinion.
Okay. I see that too. And that's one of the better comps. And Marie was asking in the chat, does that make it worth it? Like, is it worth calling an agent and seeing if they can get to an MAO here? What is it, Paula? What's the MAO? We can't see it.
Okay, 305 and 2,000 at 65%. And this is not a good property to wholesale because of the size, and is the biggest property on the neighborhood. So I wouldn't. You need it for 200,000 less, and you know what? This property is financeable. It looks, I mean, it's dated, but it can have a loan.
It can, which is just kind of a halt for us, not always. But in this situation, Marie, I believe the answer is an agent is always worth calling, because you never know what's coming down the pike for them. So you could call and kind of commiserate, like, why has this been on the market for 133 days? Oh, how has that been? Oh, the seller, you're dealing with a difficult seller, and kind of just go down that path until you can get to the point where you're like, this is nowhere near the right price for me. But next time you have something that might be difficult to list or is incredibly ugly, I want to be the person that you call. So that's how you're going to approach something like this. And with that said, I cannot believe we are nearing the end of our hour together. This flies every time for me. So if you have something that's super important for you to comp, or you didn't feel like your question got answered, you can always reach out to me and Paula. Paula, tell me, how can people get a hold of you?
My email is paola@bluejayholdings.com. You can find me also on Instagram as Paula Lujan7. Paula Lujan 7. And you can message me on Facebook as Paula Lujan, Paula Lujan, and we can connect, and we will be more than happy to evaluate your properties and display them in Florida, Colorado, Nevada, New Jersey, Texas, Tennessee, and Georgia. We can give you numbers to log the properties, and then we can JV to display them, and everybody will be happy.
Thank you so much for your time today. Just a reminder, everybody, like, the only thing that made this possible is a really cool software named Privy. And if you want to continue to comp things over the week so you can bring us really good questions next week, then I highly suggest you use our awesome code for 30% off if you're doing an annual and 20% off if you're doing your first month. Drop some love for Paula in the chat. She's been amazing.
Thank you.
We're so glad we had her here. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. We truly love you. We'll see you guys later.
Bye-bye.